Whether you're 20 or you're 60, are you planning for retirement? And do you know where to even start? Well, that's why we like to turn to our friends at Cyprus Credit Union. Dave Sant. Dave, I'm noticing that we are now dressing alike. We're both in Navy today. So cheers.
We must be in sync.
We're getting used to this, aren't we? Well, Dave, let's start with this, because I think if somebody asked me about my retirement in my 20s, I'd be like, I don't care. I don't know. It seemed way too far off, but that's actually when you can start.
Yeah, absolutely. 8 in 10 Americans are worried about their retirement. And a lot of that happens because they don't start early enough. So,
Right.
when you're in your 20s, if you're starting to think about retirement, then the key is just to get started as early as possible. Look to see
Okay.
if your employer offers a 401k match program. And if not, talk to your financial institution about Roths or 401ks or an IRA, which are other areas you can do to begin saving for retirement.
And it really sets the tone and gets you on the right track at a young age.
Absolutely.
Now, what about in your 30s? Because I know when I turned 30, I actually invested my money. That was part of my birthday present to myself. And it was scary at first, but I did it.
Yeah, that's great. Well, and the other thing you think of when you get to your 30s, that's when you're likely you're further into your career. You're
Yes.
starting to advance. You're likely getting some raises. So whenever you get your raise, look to increase your contributions instead of just taking that money and thinking, let's say you get an extra $10,000 a year because you got a big new raise. A lot of people take that and start just living on that 10,000 and finding other places. But right at the beginning, say maybe I'm going to make sure each year I'm putting another $1,000 in there. So make sure you're optimizing
Right.
that during your 30s.
And what about in our 40s, in our midlife crisis?
Yeah. So 40s, this is where you want to try to maximize your contributions. There's certain amounts you can do each year that you're allowed to do. Make sure you're maximizing those. And this is also a great time for you to look into opening up a Roth or an IRA. So once you're maximizing there, then you can deposit into your other one as well.
Smart. Now, for people listening to this and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm 50 or I'm 60 and I haven't even done any of this, time to panic, or what should we say for them?
You always want to make sure you're doing whatever you can. So when you're in your 50s, there's a great thing you can do there where now you're allowed to make catch-up contributions. And
Okay.
what that is there's, we have a set amount you can put in each year. But once you're in your 50s, now you can put in even more. So if you are a little behind, make sure you're taking full advantage of those catch-up opportunities. And again, looking at any other accounts that might help you as well.
And is that the same story going into your 60s as well if you're behind?
Yeah, so you can continue to do those catch-ups and you're going to want to. Get as much in there as you can so you can live that comfortable retirement life. But also when you're in your 60s, that's a great time to start budgeting because now you're going to have a better idea how much you have saved up. What are you going to have each month? You're going to be getting to a fixed income. So you can start to think of what is your budget going to look like in retirement. And if you start living by some of those areas, if you're like, hey, I'm going to have to cut back here, maybe make that cut earlier, but then use that money you've cut, put it into your account to help doing those catch-ups.
I like that. All good points. Dave, you're the best. If they want more information to talk to you guys about any financial and things that they need to know about, they can go where?
Absolutely. You can go to Cyprus Credit Union. We have financial advisors. I just give the tips. They're the professionals.
Hey, but you're awesome at your tips, so thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Hey, let's talk about our outfits for next week, too.
Hey,
Thanks,
just
Dave.
let me know. I'll wear it.